What is going on, guys? It is Reuben here from Outpost LLC. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. Make sure you guys tell us what you guys think of the video in the comments below. Subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when our videos release. In today's video, we are reviewing Falcon and the Winter Soldier episodes 1 and 2, both in one video. Before we get into the recap, though, make sure you guys go check us out at gamersoutpostllc.com. Check us out on Facebook as well at gamersoutpostllc. It goes without saying that this is going to have spoilers in it. I'm going to try my fastest to recap episode 1. As we're shooting this, I just got done watching episode 2, and I'm super excited to talk about what happened and what I think is going to happen to continue this series. So let's get into episode 1, guys. If you have not watched this, pause, go watch it. I really recommend it. I think this is going to be way better than WandaVision. So to start the episode off, you see Sam. He's ironing a t-shirt, looking at the shield that Captain America gave him at the end of Endgame, which, let's just go ahead and see this scene because it's super emotional. Sam is clearly contemplating whether or not he wants to keep the shield because he's scared he's not going to live in Captain America's shoes. So he hands this shield over to the government that they display in the Smithsonian, something that guest star Don Cheadle kind of questions, and Sam just thinks he's doing what's right. The next thing you see is Sam. He is helping the Air Force try to navigate a French terrorist group. Sam ends up getting in a skirmish with Batroc the Leaper, and yes, if you were thinking, you know who that is. He is the bad guy from the beginning of Captain America 2, played by George Rush St. Pierre. If you guys can't tell, I'm a huge UFC fan. I could talk GSP for hours, but I'm not going to, unless you comment below and you want me to. But Batroc ends up getting away, and Sam ends up getting back on an airplane with a member of the Air Force. And the guy from the Air Force is like, hey, if you think this guy's bad, we have another big terrorist group. They're called the Flag Smashers, and they believe that the world was better during the blip. After that, Sam goes and finds a sister who is currently in financial problems, as Sam wants to help them and get back to somewhat of a normal life. And it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. So now let's talk about where our guy, James Bucky Barnes, and what he has been up to leading into this show. We see Bucky having nightmares of him being the old assassin, the long-haired Winter Soldier. But they're just that, they're dreams. But Bucky has been in therapy, talking about everything he had went through, because for some odd reason that's gonna help. He actually makes a list that he wants to try to make amends to the people that he had hurt, but there's one in particular he can't cross off. Bucky befriended an old man whose kid died, which you kind of find out Bucky kills, but he can't seem to apologize to him because it just makes him feel bad that he killed his son. We also see Bucky going on a date, which was pretty amazing because him being as old as he is and not really knowing what the world is today just makes everything way better, and he's super awkward, and I think that's super funny. After that, we see the Air Force guy, Juarez, as he goes to Switzerland to try to infiltrate the Flag Smashers, and it's pretty unsuccessful. Luckily enough, Juarez got everything he needed on his phone. He sent it to Sam. Him and Sam are talking on the cell phone, and Sam realizes this is a bigger deal than what they thought. During the talk, Sam's sister comes up to Sam and is like, hey, turn the TV on. You're not going to believe what's happening. As you see a shot of the president saying that he needed hope in this country and we needed a hero. And he brings out John Walker, U.S. agent, who is going to be the next Captain America. And that is the end of episode 1. In my opinion, there was so much heat at the end of that. I legit had people messaging me who aren't the biggest comic book fans and say, is this who's really replacing Chris Evans? Like, they're really gonna ruin Captain America by casting a new guy? I had to bite my tongue because I know what they're gonna do in the story. but I had to bite my tongue and be like, hey, don't read into things. Obviously, if you're watching this, yeah, he's not the next Captain America. In the second episode, which, as of right now filming, I just got done watching, it starts off with John Walker in the locker room of his old high school where he's about to do an interview as the new Captain America. He is really not confident on being Captain America. He talks about everything he did leading up to him becoming Captain America, but he does not want to be Steve Rogers. At first, you kind of feel for him because you're like, no, he's trying his best. He knows he is not Steve Rogers. He knows he's not going to live up to being what Captain America was, but he wants to be his own Captain America. After the credits get done rolling, you see John Walker run out to the football field that he used to play on as the new Captain America in that Captain America outfit. He is getting interviewed, and he just starts off by saying he never would have thought that he was going to be Captain America, and he is getting cheered on like no other. As it pans out and you see this on a TV screen, you see Bucky reacting to the news, and he's not very happy. Bucky then ends up going to Sam, confronting him, and the first time we see both of these two in the same scene together on this show, he is confronting Sam like, you shouldn't have given up the shield, that was stupid too. Sam is like, oh, look who finally came out of the shadow. Anyways, this leads both of them into going on a mission as Sam is going to infiltrate the Flag Smashers. As they're on the plane to go, this is when you get the first kind of glimpse of how this is a buddy comedy show, kind of, as Bucky is like, hey, what's the plan? And Sam is just, trying to be cool, play it off. There's a cool few things that you figure out in this scene. Like how cool Bucky's arm is, the fact that he can jump like 300 feet off of a plane and not die. As they end up finding the truck that the Flag Smashers are on, they end up they end up thinking they find a hostage, which the hostage ends up kicking the crap out of Bucky, which causes a fight on top of the trucks as they're moving between Bucky and Sam, and of course, Captain America shows up. I'll have to say, it was pretty weird seeing this fight scene happen with all three of them, Captain America, Bucky, and the Winter Soldier. But I mean, it felt weird because you hadn't really, seen a whole lot of what John Walker can do up to this point. But anyways, they end up losing, and you find out that these Flag Smashers all have super serum. Sam and Bucky end up limping away. As you see them walking, you see a car drive up that has John in it and his partner, which you don't find the name quite yet. As John's trying to talk to them, Bucky is super against it, and Sam is, I think Sam's trying to play the middle of everything, but I definitely don't think Sam is too thrilled that they made another Captain America. As John is just trying to have them be partners, and Bucky is like, you're not Captain America, you're not Steve Rogers, you shouldn't have that shield. And of course John is like, oh no, like, I'm not trying to be Steve, I'm trying to be the best Captain America that I can be. Bucky ends up stopping and walking, and at that time John is like, hey, I just need Steve's wingman, which makes Sam pretty upset. Then you cut to the Flag Smashers, and you see them kind of in a hideaway with somebody who loves this group, I guess, because there's a lot of people that think the world was better during the blimp, apparently. It then cuts back to Sam and Bucky on the plane, and Sam's like, what should we do? And Bucky poses the idea of stealing the shield from John because, John doesn't deserve the shield. And Bucky tells Sam that there's somebody they has to meet, and they have to go all the way to Baltimore to find him. You end up finding out this man's name is Isaiah Bradley. He was one of the first people who got the super serum post-Captain America. You find out him and Bucky have a past when Bucky was controlled by Hydra. You also find out that Isaiah was in prison for 30 years for the failed government experiment. They end up leaving the house, and Sam gets mad at Bucky because nobody knew that there was a quote-unquote black super serum hero. As they're arguing in the streets, cops show up and kind of start harassing Sam until Bucky's like, who this is, and they find out that they are the Avengers, or he was at least part of the Avengers. During that time, you find out that there is a warrant out for Bucky's arrest because he missed his mandated therapy session, which what happened in the first episode, he has therapy. You see them at the jail and they post bail, and you think it's the therapist, but it wasn't. In fact, it was John Walker who bailed both of them out. The therapist demands a session with Sam and Bucky to get tensions off, which you have another great moment of just that haha buddy comedy. But then it gets really serious as they're looking at each other in the eyes. Bucky just kind of goes off about why Sam gave the shield up and how it wasn't fair, and Steve believed in him, and if Steve was wrong about Sam, Steve was probably wrong about Bucky. It's an emotional scene, and then Sam answers was just like, I just wanted to do what I thought was right. And that pretty much ends the therapy session. So as they leave the police station together, they go and talk to John Walker, where we first see the heel character in him, because they're like, hey, we don't want to help you. And John Walker says, then stay out of my way then. And I was super hyped when I heard that, because I feel like there's that's your bad guy in this whole series. As they walk away from that, they're talking about what is next and who they need to see about the super serum, as Bucky says we have to get Zemo. Yes, the guy from Civil War is who they have to go see. The end scene is you see Zemo in a jail, and he notices that they're coming, and that ends the second episode. So guys, I'm going to be doing these videos weekly, so it's not going to be as long. If you stayed with us, thank you so much. Throw me a like button, because I'm literally reading everything off my notes, and it's kind of hard to remember last week's episode. But this is going to play into Zemo being an anti-hero and helping them out. I also think there's going to be a lot of conflict between Captain America, to the point, when I say Captain America, I mean John Walker. There's going to be a point where Bucky and Sam are going to be fugitives because they're not letting the government take care of this issue. I'm also ready for Sharon Carter to show up. If you haven't noticed, I'm pretty sure Steve is long dead when this show takes place. But I'm curious to see what storyline is going to place when Sharon comes into it. I'm curious to see if we're going to get Bucky turned, or how that confrontation is going to be with Zemo and Bucky for the first time in a long time. But you guys tell me what you guys think in the comments below, what you think is going to happen and what you liked about these two episodes. But guys, that is going to do it for us. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think is going to happen next week. Again, these videos are together, but next week we are going to talk about episode 3. I'm super excited about it. I'm super amped like I was for WandaVision. But if you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell on for videos like this all around. Make sure to go give Gamers Outpost a follow on Facebook at Gamers Outpost LLC, and check us out online at gamersoutpostllc.com for your latest news and notes on the gaming and entertainment world. And for that, guys, I am Reuben. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. Make sure to play on and play hard.